Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm Perry Black, and on this show we have very special friends from the Counseling Clinic in Benton, Arkansas, and we're going to talk about therapy and trauma. So we'll be right back with the Counseling Clinic. Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show we have some very special partners and friends to Second Chance Youth Ranch, and that is Robert, Bennett. I'm looking at notes and calling you my friends. And Julie? Kniep. And Robert, tell me a little bit, who are y'all? Who are y'all associated with? And let me clarify, y'all are not married. Y'all are business or professional associates. Right. But who do you work for?
The Counseling Clinic. In Benton.
Called CCI?
We call it CCI for short.
Yeah. Counseling Clinic
Inc.
in Benton. And Julie, what do you do there?
I am a therapist. I'm a licensed certified social worker, and I spend most of my time at Benton High School working with adolescents. But I also work at the ranch. I work at Second Chance Ranch a few nights a week. I've done that for the last 3.5 years or so.
Yeah. So you make the drive?
I make the drive at least 2 to 3 times a week. My car is always dirty, always, going down that dirt road.
I think some of the clinical staff are out there this morning, matter of fact, because I talked to them on my drive in today.
Right.
Now, what is our connection at Second Chance Youth Ranch to the Counseling Clinic in Benton? Do you even know, Robert, have you been there long enough to even know how we became connected?
Well, you know better than I do because you were part of it.
But I may not remember.
But I do know it was about 2008.
Yeah.
Counseling Clinic and Second Chance Youth Ranch came together. Y'all were providing these fantastic foster care services, and we provide clinical therapeutic services for anybody in Swain County. And about 2008, we came together and started providing in-home services for the kids at the ranch.
But Robert, we're a Christian organization. Why in the world would children in our Christian organization need counseling, for goodness sakes? You know, they just need Jesus, don't they?
Well, that's a good, absolutely, absolutely. But anytime a kid is removed from the home, they're experiencing trauma that most of us don't ever have to deal with.
Separation anxiety and all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
We just received this past few days 5 siblings that have been in 5 different foster homes, and for the first time since they've come into care, they're all in the same house together. Even that's a new adjustment, isn't it?
It's wonderful that the ranch provides that for them. But even the fact that they have been separated and coming back together, that for a kid, that's trauma. That is something that they're having to live in and figure out, and that's where our clinical staff comes in and helps them process all those changes that have been going on in their life.
How do we figure this out?
Yeah.
You have the rules at home, or the lack of rules in their birth home, and then they're in 5 different foster homes with 5 different styles of parenting, perhaps, even if we even share all the same values. And now all of a sudden they're all in the same home with one new set of parents and a whole different environment. And those kids are actually at school at Arkansas Christian Academy. It's test week, so they're not all necessarily on campus today. So before we go any further, Robert, tell me about you. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Did you go to school?
I did go to school.
Yeah.
I'm a Louisiana guy. Grew up in Benton, Louisiana. Now I'm in Benton, Arkansas.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been here for, I don't know, about 12 years.
How or why did you come to Benton, Arkansas?
Well, the joke is I married a Swain County girl.
There you go.
And so we came back to raise our family.
Have you found it to be as wonderful as I have? I've been here since about 1986.
We love it here.
Yeah, I call it Camelot. Driving in, you know, when I came here in 1986, Bryant was about 4,000 people, some odd people. I was the odd one. But it's just now exploded in growth, and you can't really tell where Bryant ends and Benton starts and where Bauxite is. It's just a wonderful, wonderful community, but it's no longer my warm little Camelot with 2 little lanes on Reynolds Road. It's a madhouse of growth.
It's a big city,
Yeah.
and we love it. Yeah, we've been here. We've seen a lot of that as well. My wife grew up here. My kids go to school here.
Where do your kids go to school?
They go to school in the Bryant School District, but also at ACA. I have a daughter who's a senior at Arkansas Christian Academy, and she loves it.
Yeah, go ACA.
It's been a
And the other
blessing.
children, how old are they?
I have a son who's 16 and a son who's 14.
Wow, they play sports?
Some, yeah, and they're big into ROTC.
Oh, that's
they like
awesome.
they like marching and shooting and
So
marksmanship and
are they
drill.
going military when they graduate, or ROTC in college? Do you know yet?
Probably in college. We'll see about long term, but yeah, they love it.
Hey, Julie, we've talked enough with Robert. Tell us again, your connection. How did you become connected to Second Chance Youth Ranch?
It's actually kind of interesting. 3 years or so ago, I was kind of in this transition period in my life. I have 3 daughters and twins that are 20 and a 24-year-old, and so they had started college, went off to college, and so I kind of empty nest.
Oh.
And had a lot of time on my hands, and the clinical director at the ranch, Chad Strite, approached me and said, "Hey, would you like to come and help, with some of these kids just temporarily? We're kind of short-handed." And so I said, "Sure, I'll do this." And 3.5 years later, here I am, still with the ranch, still working with these kids. You kind of, you fall in love with it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, just before we went on the air, I'm out in the hallway and there's a whole group of kindergarten students. And it takes a while to get past them, because if you say hi to one, they all say hi, and one tells you a story, and immediately all of them have a story. But that's the joy of working with young people. Right. And working with kids in trauma has a real special part of our life. So working with Second Chance Youth Ranch, we came to the clinic working with Chad, because when we began the ranch 20 years ago, December of 2005, we received our first young man from Hot Springs. I know him. I've seen him where he works there in Hot Springs. But we decided we knew our kids needed Jesus. And some may know him before they come to us, but not as many as we would hope. They start coming to the church. We introduce them to the Lord. But we determined that they need more than a salvation experience. They've been traumatized, they're going through real difficult times, and we wanted to give them every opportunity to become whole, spirit, soul, and body. And our connection with y'all at the counseling clinic has been an essential ingredient of what we do. Hey, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back with Robert and with Julie, and we're going to find out more about their personal lives. So we'll take a break, be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I know these brief breaks are touching you, inspiring you, and encouraging you to get involved in fostering, mentoring, and adopting. And all of us working together with friends like Robert and Julie from the counseling clinic in Benton, we can change lives through Christ, counseling, and church. And we're actually seeing lives changed. Do y'all actually see a result from counseling? You actually see hearts and lives change?
Absolutely, we do, and we follow outcome measures that the state of Arkansas asks us to follow. And
You want to
we
explain
do
that
see-
statement?
We do see.
What is an
great-
outcome measure for people that are watching and people like me on set?
Sure. So we take things like a depression scale.
Okay.
We'll take that at the time of admission as part of our admission process by asking a series of questions, and then we score that. And then we will do that periodically through your treatment, and then at the end of the treatment, we'll do a similar, not the same, but similar testing on the backside to see where there's an improvement.
Can you explain end of treatment? You mean people that come into treatment can actually come out of treatment?
Often.
Yeah.
Often, that is the goal, is to start the discharge or what you're going to do afterwards when you come into therapy. We don't want to keep you forever. We want therapy to be brief and intense, and then over, so that you can get on with your life.
So in treatment, Julie, do we, like I'm part of it in some way, do you help people develop life skills and what some may call coping skills?
Yes.
So they can move out of treatment and apply what they've learned during the process?
We do. That's a big part of it, is teaching them healthy coping skills of how to handle things. But a lot of what we do at the ranch is we work on trauma. We work on the pain, we work on the sadness, and just the shock of what's going on in their lives. And we kind of work through that, helping them process it, helping them get through it, and learn coping skills that can help them move forward.
We never betray any confidentiality issues, but what kind of trauma do we encounter with many young people in the foster care system, or even in the community that y'all deal with?
Well, a lot of parents unfortunately have substance abuse issues, and that's a lot of what we see at the ranch. There are a lot of kids that have had sexual abuse and physical abuse, neglect, educational and environmental neglect. We've seen a lot of families with that as well, and all of those things just really impact a child that's just trying to be a kid, that's just trying to fit in at school. And especially, I think that's one thing with foster care. There's such a stigma on these kids that there's something wrong with them, that they're behavior problems, but they're not. They're just kids going through unimaginable kind of things,
For years, what people ask over and over, are your kids criminal?
Right.
I said, well, they're not, but sometimes their caregivers are. And that's tough. What we endeavor to do, I think, in our partnership is to help them understand what, if you can even use this phrase, what a true normal is.
Right.
Because when you're raised in an environment, that's all that you know. I grew up, of course, we all tell the stories about growing up, but I didn't know we were as poor as we were. Of course, after I've gotten older, I've become more poor in my past. I'm also a world-class athlete, too, by the way. The older I get, the greater the legend. But the reality is, there's a normal that we all think we have because it's just, this is my home or my family, my environment. And so what do y'all do? What's the process for helping our children at Second Chance Youth Ranch work through that trauma?
Well, we use trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy.
All right, now, there are people on the set and watching that have no clue even what cognitive therapy is, not to insult them, but just help you understand me. What does that mean?
It is, it's a certain technique. It's that is used to help process trauma, to help kids understand what it looks like, what it feels like, who goes through it, during that time they tell their story, and they tell about the things that they've gone through, and try to make sense of it in their life, and be able to move forward. It's always going to be there, but to be able to really work through it.
There may be people watching who are visualizing in their mind, here we have a desk, and y'all individually are behind your desk, and you got some poor traumatized child sitting on the other side of this formal desk, and y'all are working through this system. Is that really how it works at Second Chance Youth Ranch?
No.
Just kind of lay it out there. How does that work? You drive to the ranch.
I drive to the ranch.
In a very familiar setting to our students.
It is, and they have like a little library setting, and they have an office setting. But the ranch is a little different than what I do during the day.
Yeah.
During the day I am in an office.
Yeah.
I am, but you can't approach these kids like that. They have been through so much. A lot of them, like you said, been through many foster homes, and they don't trust adults.
Yeah.
And you can't come at them as an official person. You have to come at them as someone that they can trust, and you have to build that trust and that rapport to get them to open up. And so no, we have couches.
Yeah.
So
sit on the couch, casual environment.
Yes, and we have games, and a lot of times we'll play Legos or whatever it is, and they talk. And
Robert, how do you build trust with a child who's been traumatized, and perhaps in some cases gone from foster home to foster home, school to school, family to family? Got a minute and 20.
Well, you build that through specialized trainings that have been created for trauma, and so that's what all the therapists go through. This one is TFCBT, trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. There's parent-child interrelational therapy, and the trainings on these are that you do build that trust. Sometimes it's by getting on the floor, it's playing the games, it's meeting the client where they are in their trauma, so that they don't have to overshare by sitting on a couch and I'm at my desk on my computer. We're on the floor playing a trust game.
So they're not laying on a couch and you're sitting there with your pad?
Absolutely not.
Well, I saw that on TV. Isn't that what y'all do?
Sometimes, but not with the kids.
Yeah, sometimes I'm laying on the couch with my pad.
That does work with the adults, but with the kids, you gotta get on your knees and play, and they really respond to that, and that really does open them up. So you may not get a lot of therapy your first few sessions. You're just building trust.
Yeah.
Therapy comes later on.
I know some of these shows are very, very informative. The goal of this show is to get you involved and engaged in changing hearts and lives one day at a time. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
My name's Ashanti, and I'm 15 years old. I love to color, paint, and listen to music. Yeah, I like school. My favorite class is band. I love playing the drums. And after school, I'm going to college, get a degree. And then I get a job that can help. And then after I finish my job and get all the money, I'll do my own nail salon. The past few families, they were really abusive. But I want a home that cares and helps me when I'm doing through bad things and do it through when I'm sad. I want a family that would be there for me. I want a mother, a father. I think I want a family pet. It doesn't matter really if it's not a family pet or not. I think I want siblings too. I just want a home that cares for me. Yeah, you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't want to grow up to be in a group home.
You mentioned these goals that you have for yourself. Do you think having a family would make it easier or harder for you to achieve your goals?
I think it would be easier because your family is the main person that can help you with it. Like if you're having trouble, like don't know what to do or something, they'll be there to help you. That's what I want. I want them to know that I'm a really silly girl. Like I love to make people laugh. I'm really silly and I sleep a lot. I just want someone to love me and love for who I am. And I don't want people to like judge me. You know? I just want a family. I'm in care because I have a stepdad that is abusive to my mother. He's abusive to me and my brother, my youngest brother. He'll do things that will upset me and I'll just run away. I don't want to do that again, to go through that again. So yeah. How I stay positive, it's pretty easy. I just listen. So there's some songs that reminds me of them, and sometimes I listen to it, or I would just go in my room and write all down. Yeah, I love to write. My wish would be to get adopted with my little brother.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. And I know some of you may just be joining us, but our very special guests are our partners and friends from a counseling clinic in Benton, Arkansas, Robert Bennett and Julie
Kniep.
Once I mess up a name, I don't even try.
It's a weird one.
They're both involved in counseling and working with the counseling team, which is Chad Strike and Darlene. I think we currently have, I don't know if it's counting you, Julie, or not. I think we have 3 LCSWs and 4 or 5 case managers.
Right.
We currently have 33 children in our care. We have another house that, as soon as we have house parents, that'll open. That'll put us around 39 children.
Fantastic.
Another house that sometime within the next couple of weeks will receive more children. And we do have a lot in Benton on Smithers, right down by the school, where we're going to build a home starting in the spring of 2022. And we'll have that open by the summer. And we're just going to keep growing until we solve, working with all the organizations in the state and DCFS, we believe we can solve the adoption and foster care issues working together and networking. 349 children in 2021 looking for forever families, adoptive families. Robert, just think about this, Julie. What if every church in the state said, we're going to adopt a family in our church that will adopt a child?
It'd be amazing.
It'd be gone.
It'd be
349 children would almost immediately have a forever home. We have a family right here in our church. They had an adoptive son, and last week they got 2 more adoptive sons. So now they have 3 adoptive children. So why don't you contact your pastor, your elders, your deacons, or anybody else in your community or your workplace and say, why don't we all rally together and adopt a family that will adopt a child? 349 children waiting on you and me. Why don't somebody do something? You are somebody. Let's change the system and change lives one heart at a time. And that's why you guys, ladies and gentlemen, are on the show, because y'all are in the trenches, if you will. You're out there in the field every day making a difference. Now, we talked about counseling children at Second Chance Youth Ranch, but CCI does so much more in our community. You're the Chief Executive Officer, took over in October of
Just this year.
What is this year, 2021? So October of 2021, you became the CEO. Jim Gregory, our dear friend, retired.
Longtime CEO.
Still coming by though and telling y'all how to do it? Or is he just still figuring out what retirement is?
Right now, we're just in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah.
What else does the counseling clinic do for the folks in Central Arkansas?
So we serve a unique role here in the county. We are Saline County's community mental health center. So we are the safety net for behavioral health for any resident in Saline County. We have 24-hour phone services available where someone in a crisis can reach us 24 hours a day. But during the day, we have a team of about 16 therapists, a psychiatrist, and a psychiatric APRN who just provide individual therapy and counseling. And with COVID, we have really seen an uptick in our business. And people are really reaching out and asking for help, and so we're happy to be able to provide that for the folks here in Saline County.
All right, so let me ask you a couple of personal questions.
Sure.
What role does your faith play in what you do? Because I know you separate professionally, I don't know how you separate faith, but professionally, you're not an evangelist, but what role does faith have in your profession? Why did you become an LCSW? Why mental health as a Christian? So let me rephrase my question. Where you go church?
I go to church at Pulaski Heights United Methodist Church.
I played handbells there. I lived at the
Did you?
Methodist Children's Home for 3 years.
I know that. I know you did. I didn't know you were.
Look
you
at
were
that. I
Pulaski
still
Heights.
got it.
Yeah,
I still got it. I can rock them bells, boy. Now, if you were really good, though, the girls mostly played the little bells. They could do this. They could do 4 bells, and they'd pick it. Not me. It's
Yeah.
F, G. But I could rock it, boy. Yeah, I loved it. And we oftentimes did the Christmas Eve or the New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve service there. Beautiful church. And Julie, you?
First Baptist in Benton.
Oh, way to go,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
We love Baptists here at Family Church. And Pastor Rick, he's an awesome guy
Oh,
too,
he's
isn't he?
great. And I've lived in Benton 21 years, and so that's been my church for 21 years. And
So did you, 21 years, at your young age, did you go to Benton High School?
no, I grew up in Sherwood. I went to Sylvan Hills.
Sylvan
So
Hills.
grew up in Sherwood, and then I married a Benton boy, and
Yeah.
and ended up in Benton and raised my.
So isn't it
daughters
funny,
here.
you married a Saline County girl, you married a Saline County guy,
Right.
and here you are. I married a girl from McClellan. I guess it's formerly McClellan now. I think they're tearing the school down. I'm a Little Rock Central guy, I told you that. I'm proud to be a Tiger, changing lives one heart and one person at a time through the ministry of Second Chance Youth Ranch. Now, we are totally integrated. We believe an encounter with Jesus Christ is a life-changing experience. But again, our traumatized children need specialized care, and we are honored to be in a friendship. I hesitate to even call it a partnership. We're in ministry together. Others may call you professionals. I call you friends. And our kids and our staff, man, we appreciate what y'all do.
And we appreciate you letting us do it, along with Second Chance Youth Ranch. It's such a unique opportunity for us as therapists to be able to go into homes and provide that service. You don't see that at many agencies across the state, and I doubt you see it even with many kids in the foster care system. But at the ranch, you've created literal space for therapy to take place, where it's private and it's confidential and it's safe, but then they can walk out and have dinner on the table.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It really is a wonderful experience.
Yeah, December.
For our therapists.
In December, they're having a little Christmas staff thing. Even as we're taping this show, that which is a 2022 program, we are honored to be a part of what's happening in the lives of young people and to see their lives changed through ministry and through professional counseling and support. We want you to get involved. This is not about us. Christian television is not about being a celebrity. It's about changing hearts and lives through the power and the love of Jesus Christ. But this is not about an observation. This is a full contact participation sport called foster care. We want you to get involved. Contact us right here at 2CYR-TV, and we'll see you next week right here on Victory Television Network.